I'm Helen Van Wyck, and welcome to my studio. I can't stress enough how important it is to start dark. Because going lighter is easier, because going lighter means going thicker. Because white makes all these paints cover better. So if you start dark, you can go lighter and lighter and lighter and thicker. Automatically, there are art books that say you have to keep your darks thin and your lights thick. Well, you don't have to do it. It's going to automatically get that way if you approach oil painting the academic way, and that is that you start darker and come to the light. So let me start lightening the silver, and I'm going to make the highlight first. I always find that metals are almost better painted after you get the general overall shape, to start right with the highlight. And these highlights start to present in a pictorial way the anatomy, made up of each element. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 elements already of the knob. Inspect your subjects from the top down so that you can appreciate each part of its shape and make a paint rendition of that shape. So I see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight parts of that silver's shape. Its basic shape. Of course, the handle and its spout are additions. I think the guy who made it did it that way too. I think too that you see a lot more shines on it than I do. I see them too, but I'm only painting in the ones that I know are going to expose the solidity, and that's the highlights. Why don't I suggest too a little bit more? Your brush strokes is paint writing. Look and memorize a whole form and transfer that memory of the form to a brush stroke. I'm editorializing on this. With more time, my strokes I would be looking at the same things, but doing each thing a little bit more carefully, a lot more carefully. Don't let our meetings together mislead you. Don't get to your easel and say you have to go as fast as I do. Take your own pace, but don't linger either. Figure out a way to do it and just then do it. Don't be afraid. Don't think you've got to make it wonderful. Just make it the best you can. That's all you can do. Let me start the feeling of the anatomy of the roses by adding light, bright, alizarin crimson, Grumbacher red, and white. Notice how I take time to saturate that brush. Which is the most important one? This one. Why don't I start with it? I want it to face this way. And so I'm adding my lights on the right because the light's coming from the right. Enough on that one. Now, it's so tempting to say, oh, wow, doesn't that look snazzy? And you do the same thing again. No, don't do that. Make sure that when you have to paint many objects that are the same, try to give a different little twist, a different personality to each one. So now this is going to be darker because it's in shadow from the pot. And just one or two little flicks back there. And this one's a little different too. I'm going to try to make it a little different. I contrive these still lifes for you to open up the door to a picture possibility for you. Not just like this, but one thing I do think you could try is to set your subject matter up against a dark background. These mixtures are only working because they're working against this tone background. They would be entirely different against white.